supply chain issues, along with rising prices, are still causing headaches for all Americans, but one product shortage is causing a serious panic, understandably, among parents who say they're worried about feeding their infants and their baby formula. Some states are seeing at least a 50% shortage, including Iowa, Missouri, Tennessee, North Dakota, and South Dakota. But President Biden says it's time to celebrate the economy. Watch this.
Our plans and priorities have produced the strongest job creation in the modern times of the American economy.
Oh, boy, that generates confidence, doesn't it? Yeah. So, look, you guys, this is, we knew that there's going to be food shortages. We know there's the supply chain shortage, but there's still something that's outstanding that is contributing to this. Look at this statistic, Charlie. U.S. baby formula, how much of it is produced by China? 44%. We're the biggest, best nation in the world, and we can't get formula for mom's kids. But just tell me your thoughts on this at this point.
No, it's absolutely incredible. It's appalling. This is one of the greatest national security threats that we face. And it's, of course, not just baby formula. It's medicine. It's vitamin C. It's so many of the things that we need to have for regular, normal, daily life that we rely on China for. And China, in case politicians in Washington aren't aware, they're out to destroy us, and they want to overtake us and destroy us. And I'm as much a free market guy as you can be, but this is a real problem. When it gets to the point of being a national security problem, as this is, then we need to take it seriously and figure out how do we protect ourselves as a country so that our food supply, our baby formula supply, our medicine supply isn't, we don't have to rely on an existential enemy to give it to us.
You know, Guy, we've talked today about an election coming up and the mood of Americans. The Democratic Party's devolved into protesting at Catholic churches on Mother's Day, and they think that issue is going to eclipse what happens when a mother or a dad goes into a store and cannot find, baby food and can't find formula. What do you think the impact of that's going to be?
Well, it's going to be immediate, and it's very frightening, I think, for parents. And you know what's interesting, Tammy? The clip that we just played of President Biden in Ohio boasting about the economy, you know who wasn't at that event in Ohio with the president? The Democratic Party's nominee for Senate in that state, Tim Ryan, who's a sitting congressman. This guy has voted 100% of the time with the Biden agenda, literally 100%, according to 538. And yet he was nowhere to be found to welcome his party's president to his state, the guy with whom he votes 100% of the time. I think that tells you everything that you need to know about the problems that the Democrats are facing when a nominee in the state does not want to be seen with the guy at the very top of his own party.
Well, they all own it at this point. Aisha, Americans are having a lot of different things affecting them on every single front. Doesn't it seem like this is maybe just kind of the tip of the iceberg that really brings it home about the fact that this affects individuals, their families, and even their infants?
Well, look, I think people forget that the economy can be doing well. You can have job growth, but it doesn't mean that low and middle class Americans are doing well. If I can, Tammy, let's pop up the inflation graphic here, and let's talk about that for a second. When you have sky-high prices for gas and literally everything that has to do with your daily life, I mean, how can you expect Americans not to complain? And let me just bring up the Census Bureau stat just reported last month. About 34% of Americans that were surveyed by the Census Bureau found it was somewhat or very difficult to pay their usual household expenses. That's in a strong economy, 34%. So this was the issue that Democrats, moderate Democrats, had when the Biden administration was trying to push Build Back Better, this giant trillion-dollar tax and social spending plan. It's why are we talking about this thing when Americans aren't even worried about that right now? They're worried about just how to, like you said, feed their kids and just put food on the table. Why aren't we talking about that?
You know, that's what's fascinating. It's like they just want to, Charlie, be like, cats with their head under a curtain. They want to ignore this. But we know this is also, we're warned this is going to get worse through the year. How do you see this unfolding?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't see any way this doesn't get anything but worse between now and November.
Yeah, especially when we're looking at literally physically in your face empty shelves.